Now we can actually have a serious discussion about The Rise of Skywalker and the potential of it not hitting $1 billion. Now, I'm not saying it will not hit $1 billion, but what I'm saying is we can now talk about it, and it is a serious discussion. Before this film released, I said that the lowest it could possibly do is $900 million worldwide, and that was a stretch. I still thought that was a huge stretch. The upper end of it, I put it at around 1.3 billion, which is what The Last Jedi did. But now we have the opening weekend numbers, and they are much lower than expected. And Disney deserves every single bit of this, and I hope that this movie does do below $1 billion. We will see. Time will tell, but weekend 2 is where the real numbers are going to start playing into it. We're going to start seeing what the enthusiasm is like, what type of legs does this movie have, and I don't believe it's going to have really long legs. With $175.5 million 3-day debut, Disney Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker delivered the third largest December opening of all time. While the performance tops the studio's conservative $165 million opening, many, including Box Office Mojo, expected the film to top $200 million for the weekend, and the slide to $175 is a bit below where expectations were just yesterday. When it appeared the film would open anywhere from $190 to $195 million after Friday estimates. The slide began following the film's opening day, which was pretty much on par with recent Star Wars releases. Yada, yada, yada. So we're getting into all of that. You know, we can talk about the other films, but the point I want to make here is the other all-time highest grossing box office movies domestically. Obviously, all of these movies did over $1 billion. You don't get to a movie that went below $1 billion until you get to Batman v Superman at number 16. And The Rise of Skywalker did $9 million more than Batman vs. Superman. Now, that is with the estimates. Now, that 175 could go as high as, I don't know, 180 million, or it could go even down to 170 once the actuals come in tomorrow. We will see. But if these actuals come in even a little bit lower, like if we're talking like 173 even, I'm telling you right now, this film is in serious jeopardy of not hitting $1 billion. Now, I'm pretty sure, what did Deathly Hallows? Yeah, Deathly Hallows did 1.3. Huge foreign market for that. But Batman vs. Superman didn't even break $900 million. And why? Because of a lot of the same things in this movie that we're seeing with the criticisms of The Rise of Skywalker. You know, and I just do not think that this movie is going to have the legs that it's going to need to cross $1 billion. Time will tell. But it's going to be very interesting. But we can now have a serious discussion about this film because it is in serious play right now. The China market is a disaster for this movie. It's an all-time flop in China, which is hilarious and justified. Plus, you've got competition with Jumanji. Jumanji is going to do very well at the box office, very, very well. That is a true family-friendly, movie that a lot of people are going to want to go out and see and have a really good time watching. The Rise of Skywalker, in my opinion, does not give you that. So again, the people that like The Last Jedi seem to be very unhappy with The Rise of Skywalker. The Reylo crowd is very unhappy with The Rise of Skywalker. It seems like the people that hated The Last Jedi are the ones that are finding the most joy in The Rise of Skywalker, which is the majority of the Star Wars fan base. So that does need to be noted. I am someone that hated The Last Jedi, but I also hated The Rise of Skywalker. But if you're looking for anybody out there that is loving or at least liking this movie the most, it is the crowd that hated The Last Jedi, and that is your biggest group of fans right now by far. So that might help this propel this movie to over $1 billion, but at this point, once we get the actuals on Tuesday for the weekend, if those numbers are even below the 175, and then the second weekend numbers, that's where we're going to have a clear indication. If this movie has a 60 to 65% drop in week 2 or even higher, that's going to give us a real clear indication as to if this movie is going to hit $1 billion. If this movie does not hit $1 billion, how in the world can they justify Kathleen Kennedy keeping her job? I truly don't understand how this woman has a job anymore. But if this movie doesn't even clear $1 billion at the level Star Wars is at just a few years ago, That is just unbelievable that this franchise has fallen this far. But the Phantom Menace was right. The Phantom Menace was well ahead of this curve. We tried to tell you what was going on with Disney Star Wars. We tried to tell you that this was going on. We tried to tell you that they had no plan. We tried to tell you that Episode 9 was going to be a disaster. There was no way it could be fixed, and it's all because of The Last Jedi. But even going back to The Force Awakens, and I could get all into that and how that was a problem from the beginning, but I do have another video coming out that I'm going to talk about that. But a realistic question is, will The Rise of Skywalker hit $1 billion at the worldwide box office? It's going to be a fun few weeks, and we will continue to cover it here at Geeks and Gamers. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Solo lost money, and we will talk to you later. Hey everyone, it's Jeremy from geeksandgamers.com, and if you're a fan of Geeks and Gamers, please go to our website, visit our merchandise store. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, tank tops, and in the very near future, we're going to have many more products for you to choose from. So thank you for the support. We appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.